immediately after the last 5 Braid shows, I moved into a new place and I lived by myself for a few months and just was really upset. I just couldn't imagine not touring once Braid broke up. It was painfully obvious that I needed to get the hell out of my house and out of Chicago for a while.
Damon and I and Bob were contemplating starting a new band. We knew we wanted to play together. We didn't know what it was going to be like or about or anything. In the meantime, I was playing bass with Bob in The City on Film as a 3-piece, just some songs that he wrote and we all wrote parts around, and we did a couple shows. And then we started practicing in Bob's basement, me, Damon, and Bob. And without having a name or anything, we wrote a couple songs, and then we auditioned a couple guitar players, and we became a 4-piece called Hey Mercedes.
And we kind of had the approach of like, well, let's do this. It's a whole new thing, and never look back.
I got hit by a car in February of 2000. I was going to school at Columbia College in Chicago again for photography. And I was walking across the street at rush hour under the L tracks. She didn't see me, I saw her, and I jumped up to avoid getting run over. As I jumped, she hit my bottom foot and it flung me against the windshield. And I smacked my chin, and then I flipped after I smacked my chin and ended up directly on my back behind the car. But all I could think after getting hit, as I was being hit and flying in the air, was like, I hope the dump truck behind her doesn't fucking run over me. It was one of those things that you think like, wow, like obviously there's like something else I have to do in my life, or else I really would have been fucking killed. And I started playing in the Firebird band, which was kind of an extension of the Firebird suite and the Firebird project that was going on during the Braid years. We had a bunch of lineup changes and went out west and broke down and drove home at 45 miles an hour in the heat with no air conditioning. Took 4 days to get home, but we towed our van home and then we just left it somewhere. I took 6 months off from playing music and started playing in a band called The Sparrow. I started a record label myself so I could have complete control over the music that I do. I'm doing Life at Sea. Life at Sea is the most active band that I'm playing in right now. The Firebird band is doing a new record. We're doing a new record soon.
Hey Mercedes did 2 full-length records and some EPs and a lot of touring. Probably not as much as Braid ever did.
That really takes us up until right now. I mean, we've been touring pretty much non-stop and recording.
I think that if there was one thing that Braid as a band could have or should have done differently, it would have been touring less to keep us together longer, but at the same time, I don't think it would have been the same band if we did anything different.
When we went on our first tour, which we booked ourselves,
1995.
Yeah,
Summer.
We booked it at people's houses. I mean, we weren't in on the club circuit or anything. There was this great little scene that was around at the time where you didn't have to have a big booking agent.
No,
you could
just went and you would play to fucking at
you do it
least
yourself.
50 people or more.
Do
Rude.
you
Don't point.
remember?
Don't point.
We played at in a girl's bedroom.
Yes.
Jamie.
In Florida.
No, it was in Somerville, South Carolina.
We sat up and
Master
played in a
Braid.
room, and there was people standing on the bed watching us.
We played festivals, you know, where we were on a floor and there were fucking 700 people standing all the way around us, screaming, you know, the lyrics to the songs. We played basements for our career, you know, as a band. We loved it. We toured in a van. We spent 8 months in a fucking van. If we would have had some foresight, which, how could we have it? There was no one there saying, hey, maybe you guys are gonna get burnt out. Maybe you guys are gonna begin to hate each other.
You know, we all had our moments, especially towards the end. Obviously the band broke up and there's stuff that happened, you know, and I think it's, you know, it's obviously no secret. It's not that we, you know, didn't like Chris. He just saw things in a different way than we did. I think it got to the point where, you know, he wasn't sure about the band and wasn't really feeling into it. And there, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, brought the demise of Braid.
So we were doing our last show at Mabel's, and it was needless
the last
to say,
song.
the last song of the last show was "Hugs from Boys," and it was one of the first songs that we wrote, and together as Braid. It was a very emotional last song because I think, well, at least myself, I realized this is our last song that we're playing together ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And these are the guys that I just did like so many shows. 8 months on the road, 98, Europe twice. We've just gotten back from Japan. We hated each other, but we still loved each other.
No, we hated you.
I know, and I hated you guys. And so
It was like 6 years of your life.
yeah, it was a long time. We all really just, you know, like at that point, this is like the end of a complete era, the end of everything. It was like the end of like anything that any of us really ever were. Like that was who we were. You know?
It was our life.
It was
we
our
dedicated
life.
everything
It was our
we had
life.
into that.
That was what
and
we
it was
were.
done.
And I should say this.